Okay, it is that time again to call out Spectrum News Channel 1. Because it's that time again. And this time, why am I upset with them? Well, the title of the video was obvious. They ignored a carbon monoxide scare in Jackson Heights due to the snowstorm that happened over the weekend. And you may be wondering, what media outlet covered it? I know Channel 4 did, that's for sure. I was watching them last night. Believe it or not, the winner of the night goes to WABC TV, Channel 7. Because they did a great job covering it. In fact, they spent 3 minutes covering it. Almost 3 minutes. See? 249. I mean, you cannot make this stuff up. So I'll show you where this is in Elmhurst. Let's pull it up. Show you exactly where this is. So I know this area very well. This is Elmhurst. And it happened right by, believe it or not, the Crown Motor Inn. Right by Elmhurst Hospital. Yep, so again, I am very familiar with this area. No question about that. In fact, let's get a street view of it. Show you what it looks like. Yeah, so this is what it looked like back in October. This is what the building address is. Around here. And this is the oldest view we can get. Dating back to 2007. Wow, Frecker's air conditioners. No, I have not seen those in years. That's nostalgia. Bringing back. Okay, so here we go. Firefighters rushed to the scene at 45-19 74th Avenue around 2:30 p.m. on Sunday afternoon, January 30th, after smoke from a manhole fire caused elevated carbon monoxide levels in a nearby building. According to Eyewitness News reporter Kimberly Richardson, it appeared that there were sparkling wires underneath the manhole, potentially caused by salt that was put down as a result of Winter Storm Keenan. FDNY officials say firefighters evacuated a building containing 6 apartments. Several other buildings, including a laundromat across the street, also had to be evacuated. The Office of Emergency Management by the City of New York was on the scene. They were contacted to provide buses as shelter for the evacuated individuals. No injuries were reported. So, obviously, again, Channel 7 did a great job covering it. In fact, we'll briefly play the video.
Trying to sort it all out. Let me show you the first manhole. We showed
you
here we go.
This is what I wanted to look at.
This is where it all started, that manhole there with the black soot. Again, it appears there be sparking wires underneath. All of that is causing a flood of carbon monoxide to be released. From bad to worse, take a look at this. We've been here a second manhole and thick black smoke pouring out of it. The cap on that one did eventually pop. That SUV there was not damaged. These manholes are all on the same line, and that's where emergency crews from Con Edison are focused. Now, because of the high amount of carbon monoxide in this area, people had to be evacuated from one building with 6 apartments and several homes here on 74th Street, just off 45th Avenue. Okay, and I want to show you here again, we're on 74th Street, and this is the whole line of emergency crews from Con Edison. Also, I want to show you back to that manhole. It's over here, but again, they're all on the same line, and that's where the black soot started. Also, at this point, we're told there are at least 4 or 5 homes out here where the power has been cut, which is awful given these cold temperatures. The folks have no heat and no lights. All the people that were evacuated from this apartment building and some of these homes, they're down on a city bus staying warm.
So again, I want to give all my thanks to Channel 7 for covering this, because obviously Channel 1, they just ignored us again. It's like Spectrum doesn't seem to care about us. Time and time again. You provide internet, phone, and cable to a lot of people in this borough, but yet you don't care that there was a carbon monoxide issue in Elmhurst, where a lot of your customers have service. And yet, funny thing is, there is a Spectrum store inside the Queen Center Mall. Right nearby where this is. You know what they have on their homepage today? They have this piece of trash right here. Who cares about him? Who cares? I don't. We all don't. We all don't. I had to rant. I'm sorry, but this is what we keep talking about. You don't see any of this on the Queen's side of Channel 1. You just don't. You just don't. So I'm going to check the Con Edison outage map. See if we can find out if power is out in this area, because I'm assuming it got restored. Let's just see here for a second. Take a look. So let's zoom in. Because again, I know exactly where this is. Right around... I'd say right around here. Yeah. So at least the good news is no power is cut. But there seems to be a minor issue in Roosevelt Avenue. But other than that, you know, it's just very shameful that, again, Channel 1 is ignoring us. You know, time and time again. And then they didn't cover this. Channel 2 actually covered this as well. So I'll read this because Channel 7 spent 2 minutes, and Channel 2 also spent a lengthy amount of time as well. So this happened in Midwood. So a Korean grandfather was viciously attacked inside his own store in Brooklyn on Saturday, January 29th. His attacker refused to pay and then unleashed a flurry of punches. Now, Gi Tai Lee, age 66, is angry and demanding justice. Lee said, "I was cleaning the deli section when this person just threw everything off my counter. I wanted to tell him to stop. He said something. Then he punched me. He was saying as he was punching me also." So Mr. Lee went to the hospital after suffering injuries to his head above his left ear. In addition to fists, hostile words were hurled at him. He was saying some sort of curse words and derogatory things about Asians, but I can't say exactly what they were, Mr. Lee said. The NYPD is investigating, but it is not yet clear if the Hate Crimes Unit will further investigate this. However, the NYPD at the moment is clarifying that this is a felony assault. So thank goodness they're doing that at least. Okay, so there were rallies in the U.S., including in Foley Square, demanding justice and safer streets as attacks against Asian Americans explode exponentially. And by the way, to any of my Chinese viewers, I'm going to say it right now. Gung Hei Fat Choi, Happy New Year, because it is the Chinese New Year beginning tomorrow on February 1st. And, you know, this is just so despicable. Alright, I mean, this is happening right before Chinese New Year. I mean, these hate crimes, again, they've been getting out of hand since the pandemic started. Alright, so this was a bodega on Avenue H in Midwood. So, just a month ago, they told Eyewitness News that someone broke their glass window and yelled at them to go back to their country. So again, very, very disturbing. Very, very disturbing. And I'll mute the video so you can see the surveillance video. I'm going to try to give you a suspect description so that way you can get an idea of what the suspect is. If you have any information, you can call the Crime Stoppers. The phone number is 800-577-TIPS. Again, the phone number is 1-800-577-8477. So here is the suspect description. The police are looking for a black male, potentially... Does he look black? Let's see. I can't tell from this angle. Okay, he looks white-skinned. So, white-skinned male, possibly 6 inches tall. Last seen wearing a black coat, some kind of winter hat, black sneakers, and black pants. So I do apologize for the first part of the description. Okay, so now we have a clearer view of what the suspect looks like. So again, please give Crime Stoppers a call if you know the whereabouts of the suspect in connection to the felony assault that happened in Brooklyn on Saturday, January 29th. Why do you look black for a second? I want to issue an apology about that. You know, it looks grainy. You can't really make it out. So, but he is 6 feet tall. I can confirm that. Okay, so let's get to the other news that Channel 1 seems to be ignoring as usual. If this could load today, that would be great. Okay, so here we go. 2 incidents that, again, Channel 1 is ignoring in Queens. First, let's go to Jamaica, because this is the most recent one that we can pull up. Here we go. A Jamaican man was arrested on Thursday, January 27th, and charged with multiple crimes in the shootings of 3 men last month. Police charged 24-year-old Josiah Bruce of 130th Avenue with 3 counts of attempted murder, assault, criminal possession of a weapon, drug possession, charges, and other crimes for the incident that occurred at 3:30 p.m. on Saturday, December 18, 2021. 3 men were sitting inside of a white Jeep Cherokee that was parked in front of Walgreens at 165-02 Baisley Boulevard when 2 men approached the vehicle. One of the men pulled out a firearm and fired into the vehicle multiple times. A 29-year-old man suffered a gunshot wound to his head. A 31-year-old victim suffered a gunshot wound to the back, and a 29-year-old man was shot in the back. The 2 men fled the crime scene in a red 2012 Ford Focus that was last seen traveling towards Brewer Boulevard. So, it says that all 3 victims were transported to Jamaica Hospital in stable conditions. So, there's still an ongoing investigation, but at least the good news is they have arrested somebody in connection to this. That's good news, at least. And then there was a stabbing reported in Jackson Heights. Oops, sorry about that. Let me close out that tab. Didn't mean to open a new tab. Oops. Okay, so this incident happened on January 26th. So here we go. 2 men were engaged in a verbal dispute just before 7 o'clock in the morning at the corner of 85th Street and Roosevelt Avenue when the assailant pulled out a knife and stabbed the 52-year-old victim 3 times in his arms. The victim called 911 later that morning from his home and was transported by EMS to Booth Memorial Medical Center in Flushing, where he received stitches to close his wounds. The NYPD released surveillance video of the suspect who was wearing a light-colored jacket over a gray hooded sweatshirt with a white baseball cap and dark sneakers. So, this is definitely a clearer image compared to what that other incident we read in Brooklyn. No arrests have been made, ongoing investigation. So, you know anything, call the Crime Stoppers, or best case scenario, notify the 115th Precinct. Because it says they're looking into it. Yeah, they're looking into it. Okay, just want to make sure I gave the right precinct. I don't want to be wrong again. Believe me. I mean, there is so much going on here. You know, I mean, think about how much Channel 1 can't even cover. So I'm going to read one more because I just don't have any more patience to deal with Channel 1's antics. This is where I think Channel 1 should have been focused on. They didn't cover this. You want proof they didn't cover this one? A shooting in the Upper West Side. Really? Really? You want proof they didn't cover it? You want proof? Look at this. That's why this is the last one I'm going to read. I can't read these other ones in Brooklyn because it's just too much to keep up with. Okay, so here we go. Police involved shooting injures 2 outside of a store on the Upper West Side. Okay, so here we go. Okay, we have an epic fail. Apparently, February 28th. Okay, looks. We're gonna have to see if there's any other source of information on this. Let's see. Oh, look at this. Channel 7 has something on it. Okay, good. Okay, that doesn't help me. Nope. Nope. Okay, let's check patch. Okay, I guess we'll just have to make out with this one. Oh, okay, this is the Dwayne Reed one. Okay, yeah, alright. So we'll read from the patch. Channel 7 did cover this, but they only spent a few seconds. They didn't even send a reporter. Okay, so this happened on January 28th. So this happened on Friday. Okay. Hours before a sizable segment of the NYPD gathered outside of Midtown Cathedral for the officer Jason Rivera's funeral, two men ages 42 and 66 began to argue just inside the door of Dwayne Reed at West 94th Street and Broadway. So I know exactly where this is. Unfortunately. The off-duty officer was working a security shift at the store and told the men to take the fight outside. Once outside, the scuffle raised a level in intensity when the 42-year-old stabbed the older man in the arm with a knife. Police sources also told multiple publications that the fight might have started over shoplifting. The stabber tried to run away from the corner, but the off-duty officer chased after him. The off-duty cop caught up with him, but the suspect at the corner of West 94th and Amsterdam when the man turned on the NYPD officer and used to drop the knife. The officer then shot the man, striking him in the left arm and leg with a service weapon. Okay, so the 42-year-old was taken to St. Luke's where he's expected to survive. He remains in police custody. The officer was taken to a local hospital along with the man stabbed at Dwayne Reed, who was expected to survive. So, that particular Dwayne Reed location is looking to hire extra security. So, no surprise. Well, I got one more story I have to read, and Channel 7 actually covered this, but they didn't send the reporter because, obviously, what can you do when you only have surveillance video? This is very disturbing. A man hit a child inside a restaurant in Harlem. Yep, and this is who they're looking for. I mean, this is child abuse right here. Plain obvious. He's even caught on video doing it. Okay, so here we go. It happened on Saturday night at around 5:40 p.m. on January 29th. A Chinese restaurant called Red Star on Adam Clayton Powell Jr. Boulevard near West 147th Street. Video shows the man walking into the restaurant holding a small child, putting the child on the ground, and then striking it, causing the child to fall to the ground. The man then pulls the child in a stroller and then leaves the restaurant. So there is a video of it, so let's just quickly watch what we have here. So here's who the police are looking for. They are looking for a male suspect, black, seen here punching the child. Last seen wearing a green cap, carrying a baby stroller, wearing a black coat. Can't tell what shoes he's wearing, but they got him on video, that's for sure. I mean, Channel 1 didn't even cover this. You know, same old Channel 1 as usual. Alright, so there was a 911 call. Police did come to the restaurant an hour later, but the man and child were gone. So, I mean, I could give a better description like I just did. And the police think this black male is between 20 and 30 years old. They don't even want to say he's black because, you know, it's not politically correct. Well, how are you supposed to know what he looks like when you can't even make it out? And then look at this. This happened right by Yankee Stadium. I mean, you can't make this stuff up. You just can't. And again, Channel 1 doesn't care about us. And obviously, again, you know, we have another funeral coming up for Officer Wilbert Mora. So, let me just see if I can get you the information for the funeral this week. And then we'll wrap this up. Just wish this would load quick enough. Okay, so here we go. According to Channel 2, the wake will be tomorrow. Funeral will be on Wednesday. So the wake will be at St. Patrick's Cathedral. Once again, 5th Avenue between West 49th Street and West 50th. Funeral will be on Wednesday morning, Groundhog Day, 10 a.m. St. Patrick's Cathedral. And I hate to say it, but this is Groundhog Day all over again for the NYPD. They just had a funeral for Jason Rivera on Friday, and now they're going to have another funeral on Wednesday, and there have been very disturbing stuff being said about the NYPD. There was a video I saw over the weekend where one woman was like, all for one cop. Well, remember, fidelis ad mortem. You stand by your fellow officer. You know, that was a very disrespectful thing that woman said in the video. I'm not even going to say what she said. I understand, like, she was talking about, oh, what if there's another emergency? Well, again, we're dealing with the worst crime wave since the 1980s. You tell me how... That's... I don't even want to get further into it, so... Hopefully the whole city will pay its respects to Officer Mora. Hopefully, again, the service will be virtual like Jason Rivera's was. And I'm going to wrap this up. Again, Channel 1, shame on yourselves. Ignoring us as usual. So that's it. Thank you for watching.